I'm just coming from Walgreens. I really hadn't made a video in a long time because I don't really talk to y'all unless God gives me a word. And I hadn't been where I needed to be with God, so He hadn't given me a word. So that's why I haven't made a video in a very long time. Actually, I stopped making videos. But the Lord spoke to me, and I'm looking around like this because I'm in driving and I don't want to get a ticket. But the Lord spoke to me, and I asked Him. I said, Lord, I don't know what it is that you want me to do, so you got to tell me what you want me to do because I'm clueless at this particular point. And the Lord said, feed my flock. Well, the city that I live in and the people that I know, pardon my French, but none of them are interested in Jesus Christ or God. So, it would be a waste of time. I've tried that. I've been there. I've done that. And they're just not buying it. And then they're not, and that's the people I know, not people I hang with. Let me take these glasses off. But you notice I say people that I know, but they're not trying to hear any of that. But anyway, the other day He told me to feed His flock. And so back to what I was saying, y'all excuse me. The only thing I could think about was to go back and start back making videos because I don't know who I could reach out here in this city. Yes, there's always somebody in need of a word from God. And of course, if God wants someone to have a word, He will lead you to that particular person. But I just didn't see it, and I still don't. So I just figured that maybe He was speaking on making videos and how I reached a lot of people making my videos. My videos are not for everyone. Everybody may not understand my videos. Everybody may not even like my videos. People may not even like the commentary that I give out. But if I just reach one person, then I've done my job. I heard a lady the other day. She said, you do not, I heard on YouTube too. She said, you do not have the right to take away another person's suffering. And that sat on me really tough. It sat on me real tough. Because honestly, we all got to be who we were or who we are through our experiences and over time. Our experiences is what made us who we are. And so when I thought about what she said, it made a lot of sense to me. You do not have the right to take away another person's suffering. And what we mean by that is that everybody is not suffering with gang stalking from their family. I love my family unconditionally. So I'm not dealing with my family gang stalking me. Although I'm sure they do, but I have a tendency to overlook a lot of things that they do because I love them. But everybody's not dealing with that in their family. And so, but there are people who are. And for those who are, those people were meant to be on the path that they are on. You cannot take everybody where God is taking you. And so therefore, whatever path that is laid out for them, you have to allow that person to go through that, take that path. Because ultimately, we became who we were when over a period of time. So with our experiences and us bumping our heads and having to go through this and go through that, and a lot of us, we went through hell to become the person that we are today. Those experiences was harsh. And so with that being said, you have to allow the next person to go through whatever destination that God has set before them. I'm not going to sit up here and say that gang stalkers, the serpent seeds and this and that and narcissists. And then I'm not going to sit up there and say that these people are bad. Now, they have done things to me that I would never have done to them in my lifetime. However, you can't blame a person for being who they were designated to be. This is who they were designed to be. And so you can't get mad at a person for being them. You know, you have to learn to have some compassion. You have to learn to love people. And you have to learn to accept things as they are. Okay, so what? They what you call it? They love bombed you. So what? They lied to you. So what? They've done all of these horrific things. But that's who they are. That's who they came into this world to be. And so, with that being said, you can't knock a person for being who they are. I'm not telling you have to love them. Well, I am telling you have to love them. I'm not telling you have to like them, but you have to allow people to be who they were designated to be, and allow people to go on the course that they was designated to go on. You can't change. Some people you just can't change. As much as we love these people, as much as we want to open their eyes, and as much as we want them to see and know what we know, the truth of the matter is you cannot take everybody where God is taking you, you know. And so what God has for you may not be for the next person. Yes, you would love the best. You want the best for them. You want them to see heaven. But if the road to hell is their designated, um, is a designated road for them to take, then you have to allow that person to take that road. Now, of course, if somebody in your family or friends that you love and you see them going down the wrong path, of course, to it is your obligation to step in and try to redirect that person back to the right path. But if you have led a horse to water and they don't want to drink it, ultimately there is nothing else that you can do. You have to allow that person to either bump their head and accept their experiences, or you have to allow that person to go down the path that was designated for them. And even though we love our family members and we want the best for them and we want them to wake up and we want them to see what we see, the truth of the matter is everybody is not going to wake up. Everybody is not going to see what you see. And furthermore, you have to get down that path before you can take anybody else anyway. You know, allow them to be who they are meant to be and allow them to go down the path that God has set before them. You know, um, and if that be them going to hell, that's what it be. We have to learn to accept what God has set before us. It is what it is. This is what it is. Is there's not, I'm gonna tell you like this with me. Do I think that a lot of things I see in this world is fair? Absolutely not. Do I believe that God is just? Absolutely so. Do I believe that God is always right? Absolutely so. We may not understand, we may not ever know why God has allowed certain things to happen and why God does certain things to certain people and why, the Bible tells us, can the pot ask the potter, why have thou made me like this? Can the clay ask the potter, why have thou made me? No, absolutely not. So we have to learn to accept what God has in store for the next person. And what it is what it is. You know, where God is taking you, you can't take nobody else, And whatever that destination is set before them, for them, that's what that's what it's going to be. No matter how much you try, no matter how much you try to mold, no matter how much you try to change, if they're not meant to take the same road as you, it's not going to work. It's going to always fail. You're never going to get that person to where you want them to be. If that is not the road designated for them, you cannot partake in the next person's suffering. Let the next person suffer. Let them go through what they have to go through. As much as we want to help them, sometimes you have to let people bump their heads. But anyway, I'm gonna get off this thing right now. I'm at home. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Bye.